Have you ever walked into a room, and felt eyes on you? You didn't say anything. You didn't do anything. But there it was, that unspoken pull. That invisible energy that turned heads, stirred curiosity, and made someone notice you, even without a single word. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, believed that much of our connection with others doesn't come from words. It doesn't even come from actions. It comes from something much deeper, a silent language that speaks directly to the unconscious. And if you learn how to master this language, if you learn how to align yourself with the powerful, invisible forces Jung spoke of, then he will chase you, not because you asked him to, not because you begged for attention, but because he's instinctively drawn to you. Not by choice, but by compulsion. Today, you'll learn how to awaken that power, how to make him chase you without saying a single word. Attraction begins in the depths of the psyche. We've been taught attraction is external, makeup, style, flirting techniques. But Jung flipped that idea upside down. He introduced the world to the idea of the collective unconscious, a deep, shared layer of the mind filled with universal symbols, archetypes, and emotional instincts. And this is where real attraction happens. It's the reason you felt instantly drawn to someone, without knowing why. The reason you feel chemistry, tension, or curiosity, long before a single word is spoken. So, if you want to make a man chase you, you have to stop focusing on the surface, and start activating that deeper layer of the psyche. This means aligning your presence, your energy, your emotions with the version of yourself that's fully authentic, calm, and whole. Because when you show up from that space, he doesn't just notice you. He feels you. And that feeling, that energy, is unforgettable. Feminine energy speaks without speaking. You don't need to speak loudly to be heard. You don't need to chase to be chosen. And you certainly don't need to force anything to become magnetic. Feminine energy, real, divine, grounded feminine energy, is a silent force. It draws in. It invites. It seduces through stillness, not through striving. Jung's concept of the anima, the feminine within the male psyche, teaches us that every man is unknowingly searching for emotional balance, softness, and deep connection. He's looking for what he lacks within. So when you embody your feminine energy, by being centered, receptive, and emotionally aware, you become the unconscious answer to his inner hunger. He feels peace in your presence. He feels seen, even if you haven't said a word. He feels compelled to be near you, not because you try, but because you are. The more grounded you are in your feminine energy, the more he chases, without you doing a thing. The mystery that triggers the chase. Mystery is not about playing games. It's not about being aloof or cold. It's about not needing to be fully known all at once. Carl Jung said, "Man needs difficulties, they are necessary for health." The same goes for desire. There must be a sense of pursuit, a challenge, a discovery, an unfolding. When you hold back just enough, when you let him see glimpses of your depth instead of your entire story, you give him the space to chase the unknown. Because what is mysterious becomes valuable. What is revealed too soon loses its magic. Let him guess. Let him lean in. Let him wonder, what's going on inside her. Mystery is the flame. Curiosity is the fuel. And a man who's curious is already in pursuit. Emotional control is silent confidence. We all know what emotional instability looks like: overreacting, constant texting, seeking validation. It's loud, chaotic, and repels intimacy. But emotional control? That's quiet confidence. Carl Jung emphasized integration, the idea of becoming aware of all your parts, both light and dark, and learning how to master them. That's what emotional maturity is. And it's deeply attractive. When you're triggered but stay calm. When you're confused but don't demand answers. When you want to react but choose stillness instead. You become different. You become the rare woman who isn't driven by emotion, but by inner wisdom. And this makes him feel safe. Intrigued. Inspired. He starts wondering, what makes her so grounded? How is she so composed? What's her secret? And the more you stay in control of your energy, the more he'll chase, because emotional depth, not drama, is what leaves a lasting impression. Stillness in a noisy world. The world is loud. Social media screams for attention. Everyone's performing, impressing, talking over each other. But stillness? That's a rebellion. Jung said, "Solitude is for me a fount of healing which makes my life worth living." When a woman knows how to be still, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, she becomes the eye of the storm. A safe space. A breath of fresh air. You don't need to entertain him to get his attention. You don't need to act different to keep him interested. Your stillness is a signal. A signal that says, I don't need to compete. I'm already whole. And when he sees that, when he feels that, his unconscious mind kicks in. It says, I want more of her. I don't know why. I just do. That's not charm. That's depth. Your shadow is the secret sauce. Let's get raw. You have a shadow. We all do. Carl Jung taught that the shadow is the hidden, suppressed part of ourselves, our shame, our rage, our insecurity, our desire. Most people hide it. But when you integrate your shadow, when you face it, own it, accept it, you become whole. And nothing is more magnetic than a woman who is comfortable in her darkness. Why? Because she's real. She doesn't need to be perfect. She doesn't seek approval for every part of her soul. That rawness, that transparency, that bold acceptance of all that you are, becomes an energetic invitation. He doesn't know why he's drawn to you. But he is. Because his shadow recognizes yours. And his unconscious tells him, she's the one who can handle me. She sees the real me. So he chases. Not your light. But your truth. Let him project, then let him crave the reality. At the beginning, he doesn't fall for you. He falls for his idea of you. Carl Jung warned us, in love, we don't see people as they are. We see them as we are. That's called projection. And instead of fighting it, let it happen. Let him imagine. Let him dream. Let him build a fantasy. And while he does, you stay in your truth. You stay centered. You don't correct him. You don't try to explain or defend who you really are. Because the moment he realizes you're not who he thought, but someone even deeper, the desire intensifies. He'll chase to uncover more of the mystery. He'll chase because the reality is better than the dream. And that shift, that hunger to know you fully, is what makes a man stay. High-value energy is silent and certain. High value doesn't mean arrogant. It means certain. You don't chase. You don't beg. You don't rush. You don't perform. You simply exist in your power. Carl Jung's process of individuation is about becoming your full, authentic self, unapologetically. And when you embody that version of you, everything changes. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need to ask for his attention. Because he can feel your worth, not in your words, but in your vibration. And that silent certainty, that unshakable presence, it calls him in. Detachment makes you irresistible. Here's what no one tells you. Needing him to chase you makes him pull away. But being detached from the outcome, that makes you magnetic. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't depend. You're whole either way. Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. So if your need for him is irritating, anxiety-inducing, or obsessive, turn inward. Heal that wound. Make peace with your solitude. Because the woman who's emotionally self-sufficient, who enjoys her own company, creates a contrast so sharp, he feels it. And that contrast, it becomes his addiction. He chases, not to save you, but to be chosen by someone who doesn't need him. That's power. Your energy will speak louder than words ever will. Attraction is not what you say. It's not even what you do. It's what you are. Carl Jung believed in archetypes, the universal roles and energies that live within all of us. And when you step into the archetype of the mystical, radiant, sovereign feminine, you become more than a person. You become a symbol. A force. An imprint on his unconscious. You don't need lines. You don't need games. Your silence is louder than noise. Your stillness is deeper than action. Your presence is richer than any performance. And when you live from that space, he will chase. Because something in him will feel, she's different. She's the one. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to chase. You don't even have to say a word. Because your energy, when aligned with your truth, is louder than anything you could ever say. So take a breath. Come back to yourself. And remember, you are the prize. If this spoke to something deep inside you, if you felt seen, heard, or empowered, then subscribe now. This channel is your sanctuary for Jungian wisdom, emotional mastery, and unlocking the power within you. Because when you stop chasing, everything starts coming to you.